What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Big D Energy right here on the Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Rule. Joique Bell is back up in the house.
Good to be back.
Good to have you back, Joique. We got a lot of Lions React that we need to get your take on. Certainly we established that yesterday. DMac, Darren McCarty back in the house as well.
Yeah, good
DMac,
to be here.
What's popping?
The 906, you know that you were telling me earlier you are on a website? Or,
follow social media account.
Follow social media. Pictures up north. Just say that up in the UP north of the bridge. Beautiful.
I bet. It looks beautiful, man.
So, nice drive. Got through the weather, so it was
that's
nice.
That's the part I don't like about it.
Right.
That
Thanks
drive.
to everybody who was attended Slapstick Comedy Tour DMac show this weekend, and we end up all the way in Marquette for Sunday, so it's good to be back.
Yeah, absolutely good to have you back. Fish back as well. He is in the bowl. Sawyer, our guy. We're still feeling Sawyer out here. Yeah. So far, so good. The early returns are good.
You know, Sawyer's done a show with me before. He's not bad, though. I like Sawyer.
Yeah.
He's pretty good.
I do too. He's trending that way.
My pre-scouting, right? My pre-scouting, because he did some things on the network earlier on.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So here's the one thing that you guys don't know. Kid's got a creative brain, so we were talking a little bit. We're going to see what he's got. But
not only does he have a creative brain, though, did you know he's security, too? He's a
Absolutely.
bouncer. He's a bouncer.
Absolutely.
I did that when I was working in college.
Near the door, Joique?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No white tees in the club. No white tees.
And he's ready for hunting season, just in case.
Are you ready?
Oh, yeah, got the Stormy Chromer on and everything.
Look at you,
I don't know
man.
if Bugs Bunny has got a hit out on
elk?
Joique or something, because you got the Elmer Fudd.
Yeah. Have you ever hunted elk?
I have not, but that would be a good trip to do. Go out to Montana or something.
Okay.
Drop an animal.
Yeah. So hold on. So you deer hunt?
No, I've only gone small game hunting. So like some rabbits, squirrels, couple
You ever
doves.
got them? You ever got them?
No, my buddy did. I didn't want to get the hands dirty, you know.
You want to get your hands dirty?
Nah.
You know what though? So we had
Where are you from, Sawyer?
Fenton, Michigan.
Okay, well, you know your ways around the woods.
Oh, that's not right. You know, you kill it, you gut it.
I get it.
You kill it, you gut it. You got to gut it.
Yeah. I'll do it next time. Next time I got you.
Sure you will.
See, there you go.
Sure you will.
Just as long as you the jerky tax that I always have with my hunting friends. I don't do it because you got to get up early and be outside in the cold. No,
You
not
can't
a fan
talk.
of that.
Neal, there's no talking and hunting, right? It's quiet. That's not your MO. That's not our MO.
No, that's not how we operate.
What about
we
fish?
all have the jerky tax.
Yeah, I do fishing.
You do fishing?
Yeah, I do a lot of fishing, yeah.
So I'm going to give you a fishing story. So I started fishing when I was a little kid. My grandfather would take me fishing. And I was a little kid, and he took me fishing on Lake Michigan. And we get there. And, it's just me and him, and we're fishing out there. And I have my line in the water, and we see a guy on the other side, like down probably about 30, 40 yards away from us. And he's looking, he's like, I think that's my brother. And he called out his name. He said, oh, that is him. So he comes down, we're fishing, and it's late at night. And so I start to doze off. And my grandfather looks over at me. He said, listen, George, they're going to pull, like the fisher's going to pull your fishing pole into the water. Stay up. I said, okay. He starts talking to his brother again. I'm a kid. I fall asleep. Right? I wake up. My fishing pole is gone. It's gone. Right? And I said, Grandpa, what happened to my fishing? He said, they pulled it in. He said, I told you not to go to sleep. I said, I wasn't asleep. I was just trying to trick the fish.
That's pretty good on the spot.
Yeah.
Trick the fish.
And so fast forward. The following week we go back fishing again, and he brings out my fishing pole. He said, I had to go buy this. And I said, Grandpa, this is the same fishing pole from last week. I said, you put it in the car. He said, no, it pulled it in. And I just left it alone. But I always know, Grandpa, it was the same fishing pole. Just so you know, I know it was the same fishing pole.
Yeah. No, fishing's great. Yeah. It is, man.
Yeah, my son loves it. I take my son, take my nephews. They love it.
I take my kids fishing, too, all the time. My son, his first ever fish was this. He caught a largemouth bass. It was pretty incredible.
Ooh.
Like, I have a picture of it. I'll have to put that out on social media for the show to retweet. But it was funny, man. He's like, Daddy, it was his first fish he ever caught, man. This big splash, and it's like you see his pole get pulled. He's like, Daddy, what do I do? I'm like, go get it. start reeling it, and he reeled it in. It was really the look on him. I'll never forget the look on his face. I'll never forget that look on his face. That's what it's all about, man. No question about that. Lions lose to the Rams. We certainly got to get Joique's take on that, and we will Monday Night Football as well. Another Manning cast yesterday, and it's funny because I had forgotten that they were doing it, so I missed it. But I did catch everything on social media. Joique's guy, Marshawn Lynch, made an appearance. Very Marshawn Lynch, we'll just say it like that. Michigan State, as you see, we have the little helmets out here as well. We'll get Joique's first take, DMac's first take on that. Also, we'll reset the picks. Everything. Red Wings, big win over the Blackhawks. I was getting concerned for a second there, DMac, but then a hero came along by the name of Lucas Raymond.
Well, no, I think that what we're seeing into the first week, and I know I still have another week before November 1st to give you my real take.
Right.
But I think the sort of inconsistencies that we've seen throughout the beginning of the year, but the excitement of it. They're going to be ups and downs because they're going to have to learn how to win. I mean, they laid an egg in Montreal. There's a couple concerning things, only has one Canadian game, but you can see the impact to have Tyler Bertuzzi in the lineup. So is that going to be a thing down the road? We don't have to worry about that
and
now.
every game in Canada.
Well, that's what I'm saying as the season goes on, not now down the road, but getting in the new year, because this team can compete. And you know what? You look at Nedeljkovic, which had that save that he made. I've had that happen to me in practice so many times. The goalies, they practice that, where they reach their stick behind and bat it out of the air. And Nedeljkovic was able to do that, save a goal the other night. But, they're exciting, and they can put up goals, and they can score on the power play, and they have a sniper, a right-handed one. We'll get the left-handed one and your guy going, too. Then we'll have two. So I think that the way that they bounce back in a back-to-back game, but they're young, and they're going to be a little bit inconsistent. What can you say about the young guy, Maurice Sider? You love the fact not only playing the big minutes, but he's getting under the top guys in the other team's skin, the Alex DeBrinkets and stuff like that, not backing down. So, again, record, we want to see wins, but there's so much more excitement because of this team. So it's about consistency. That's what I say, consistency. But Lucas Raymond scoring a hat trick, I know we'll get to it, but he's an elite company. As a teenager, to score a hat trick for the Red Wings. Steve Eisman did it twice, and I think somebody else might have done it. But
what's that, number 9, I think is?
Yeah, that guy?
Yeah.
Gord?
Not really familiar with his work, but people tell me he was okay.
Gord Howe?
Gordon?
Gordon Howe? Back in the day, right, which is even more impressive. So what do you want to say, Neal, that we're 6 games in, 5 games in, and where are we at? It's... Next week I'll have more of an opinion on it, but the thing is they're exciting.
You like where we are? You like where we are right now as a team?
I do, because it's not about Joique. It's not about the wins and losses and where they are in the standing. Mm-hmm. It's that every place they play, whether it's home or away, they're turning into a team that teams don't want to play because they don't know. Yeah. They're young, they're aloof. You know what I mean? They make mistakes, but they compete hard, and it's something that to me is I'm absolutely ecstatic where they are right now.
All right.
Yeah, and we'll reset that coming up in the second hour as well. And it's funny, DMac, going with the Red Wings thing, I have a Zadina take for you that I think instantly everyone will think is a bad thing, but it's not a bad thing. So I'll explain coming up in hour number 2. What else? The World Series starts today.
Yeah,
and
starts tonight.
Yeah, DMac's all excited for it. You feeling it at all, Joique?
I'm one of 5 people maybe be excited, because you're right, Neal.
There's just no juice for it, man.
Unless you're a baseball fan. This is a diehard, and not so much diehard, but you got to be excited for it now. Because the Atlanta Braves,
it's the Braves.
Are that team, right? That's that team that used to get there with all the pitching.
Yeah.
We're still thinking about the Glavins and the Maddoxes and the Smoltzes of the 90s, but no, this is a new Braves team, and I guess facing the Astros, coming off of the controversy a few years ago. Yeah. I got to think that everybody wants to see the Braves to win. I want to see the Braves to win, but I know that as a baseball fan, this is a great matchup.
A lot of people think it's going to go 7. It might be a 7-game series.
Oh, absolutely.
That's what it'll need in order for it to get some juice. Joique, are you fired up for it though?
Yeah. I want to see what the bullpen does. What the Astro bullpen does. Right now, I think they have had one starting left-handed pitcher, and so let's see. I think they have probably 3 total on the roster. So with only one of them being a starter, so I want to see how they kind of line up against because they have some troubles with the bullpens lately. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I just wonder when they play Saturday, and I know like the college football window is usually less than during the, but you're going to have Ohio State, Penn State playing at that window. I just wonder if they're going to have the juice to be able to overcome that, because I don't think they do.
Well, but here's the thing. I think that more so now, just the fact that Penn State, Ohio State doesn't matter anymore, right? As far as undefeated, because Penn State lost last weekend.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I think it's one of those you search out viewing. I look at baseball right now almost like deathmatch wrestling, an independent TV that I missed, but I went home and that's what I watched last night. I caught up on 3 deathmatch. But it's my viewing, right? It seems like this Major League Baseball finals, you're a baseball fan, a hardcore, you'll find this. And I think that Penn State losing to Illinois in 9 overtimes helps out baseball. Because you're right, Neal. If it's Ohio State, Penn State unbeaten, Michigan State unbeaten, people don't even... And it's an early game. It's not like game 5, 6 clinching games. So we'll see. Numbers never lie.
Mike G on our YouTube chat thread. You can get involved on our YouTube channel if you're watching on Woodward Sports. Jump in there. The comments come fast and furious. A lot of them are funny. Mike G says, Sawyer was a bouncer. Somebody needs to bounce Jared Goff. I'm just saying. And then Mike wanted to know, Sawyer, have you ever hunted cougar during happy hour in Birmingham?
Not yet.
Not yet?
But,
okay.
My schedule's changed now, so I get off earlier, so I'll have time now.
Yeah, and you can apply for the license, I guess. So you certainly could do that. No, but there's a ton to get to, and certainly we are going to get to it. But the conversation needs to be had. We're going to have to talk about this Detroit Lions team. Dan Campbell addressed the media. Our own Corey Woods was there, and the talk for me about this whole moral victory stuff. In pro sports, man, I'm certainly not buying that. And when we come back, we're going to discuss that. The whole moral victory stuff, Dan Campbell's reaction to it through the media. We'll get to our Corey Woods sound as well. But, you are what your record says you are. And if you want a good record in betting, my recommendation is to go to MyBookie. Because what's a lock in sports betting? A lock is simply put a bet that you can't lose. And with MyBookie, you can't lose on their NBA lock of the season. Place a bet on either team to score between the Dallas Mavericks and the Denver Nuggets. And when the first bucket hits, you win. Let's look at it this way, folks. Do you remember that time an NBA game finished 0-0? I don't either. So this is a lock. It doesn't get any easier. Superstars like Joique and Doncic are going head-to-head this Friday night, but it won't take more than a minute of game time before your bet cashes. And that's not all. Get paid Friday, wake up Saturday, throw down on UFC 267. On Saturday night, MyBookie is giving all users a $100 risk-free wager on the light heavyweight championship main event fight. So don't wait. Go to MyBookie.com now. Use a promo code Woodward, and MyBookie will instantly double your first deposit. That's promo code Woodward. You can double your funds, double your winnings. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Have a gambling problem? Call the Problem Gambling Helpline, 1-800-270-7117.
Big D.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, and Woodward Sports is your home for the very best high school football coverage every Friday. We've been doing it all season long on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. The MHSAA playoffs are kicking off this weekend. Round number 1, we'll have Walled Lake Western against White Lake Lakeland. Easy for me to say, right? It's the Friday Night Clash, brought to you by Woodward Sports, The Prep, and Planet Fitness. And remember, available on all of our social media outlets at 9 o'clock on Friday night. The playoffs are getting going. Mark Frazier Ramblers will be in there as well. The bad part about that is they drew Sterling Heights Stevenson in the first round. So, hey, man, at some point you got to slay a giant, right?
Well, hey, you're in the dance.
Yeah.
Say it hasn't been done before.
Absolutely.
You ever have to slay a giant or ever go into a game in your football like to go into. Remember winning a game that you weren't supposed to win.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, went with the Green Bay and beat Green Bay at Green Bay. We hadn't beaten them in Green Bay in 18 years up to that point.
Joique, you'll never understand how happy.
And you got that. I can't take that away from you, bro. You know that pride in walking in there and doing what's not. I love it.
Yeah.
I told you about my friend before, who's like a terminal Lions fan, right? Like he's never not going to be a Lions fan. Never. He's always back every week. That's as happy as I had ever seen him that day when you guys went in there in Green Bay. Because remember, I had always talked about on talk radio saying, the Lions haven't won in Green Bay since Boys to Men was singing Cooley High Harmony. That's what it was, Joique. Boys to Men, ABC, BBD. But that just lets you know. But in the high school football playoffs, you won't see any teams that are 0-7, but your Detroit Lions are 0-7. Talk about the moral victory and stuff like that. Dan Campbell addressed the media. Our own Corey Woods came through. He got the sound. Our own Corey Woods got the sound Dan Campbell was talking about if he feels like he is coaching an 0-7 team.
Look, we are what our record says we are. That's the bottom line about this league, Now, I know this. Our guys come back to work. They were ready to go. They believed in the plan. They executed the plan for the most part, minus a couple of plays. And that's what happens. You give up a shot play. We're not ready for a blitz. And now he's got all time, all day long to see it. And, it's just, it's too tough.
And that was Dan Campbell talking about it. And Joique, I go to you, obviously, in this scenario, because I think the line is drawn with professional sports where, and more so I think in the NFL than anything else, because there's only 16 games. I'm of the opinion, Dan Campbell's right. They're 0-7 because when you look it up in the standings, it says Detroit Lions 0-7. There are no moral victories, are there, or no, Joique, in the NFL?
It's for sure moral victories.
Is there really?
Yeah, you do have those. Now, that's like for the fans.
I'm talking about you in that locker room, the players. You're not feeling that, are you?
Nah. But for the fans, yes. As a player, no. You win or you lose.
Yeah.
You win or go home. Put up or shut up. All the sayings. All the sayings.
I think as a player, what he mentioned as coming back to work and being ready and stick, to the game plan means they believe in the process, right? The execution's not there. The moral victory is the fact that, okay, I believe we're going somewhere. I believe we're building something. So to have everybody committed to that, right? That's the moral victory, is that the guys aren't looking at 0-7 like the fans are, like the media is, and looking like, okay, we did a lot of good things, but we got to get better, and we're back here to work. Are the guys putting in the work? That's all I want to hear, because Dan Campbell from day one we're gonna from whistle to whistle, we're gonna play our hearts out. Right here. Attaboy, Sawyer. There it is. And he even beat me to the punch, right? 7 of what? 34. Okay. So what I keep hearing is guys are here to work the process. What do we see? Joique, let me ask you this. You do not execute onside kicks, fake punts, special teams without commitment execution by every guy there. So
I'm gonna tell you this.
That's the moral victory. It doesn't get you anything, but the guys that are in the specialty teams, right? They're going in there today. They're feeling good about themselves. They're feeling good that they did what they could do, and so coach is bringing them stuff, and it's just not garbage. That's what I'm saying. That's the building. Moral victory is, do you see building? Right? So that's what I ask you. Like, if you're a special teams guy, right? You get the fake punch, the 2 onside kicks. Like, how are you feeling today?
You know what? I will feel really, really good if we can capitalize on those with touchdowns.
Right. But that's the growth. That's the growth. That's the next step.
So, and that was hard. And I was hard on Jared Goff's play. And I would say this game. He stayed in there. He took some hits. He delivered a pass with Aaron Rodgers right in his face. He threw an interception, but I saw what he was trying to do. He stayed in the pocket a couple of times trying to make the pass. Now, with that being said, his arm talent isn't up there to be able to make those passes under that type of pressure. So when I look at the fake punts, right, the onside kick, these are things that we're doing because we know we need help. Like,
no, I understand that. But you executed.
Right, but the thing is, you call it a moral victory. I will call it expectations. This is just our expectation going into this game.
But hear me out. Listen, you have to look for the positives, and the guys see the positives. They can't. You're right, Jared Goff. I thought that he stood in there. He played with more balls. Mm-hmm. He tried, took some hits. So that was there. The arm talent's not there. But what I'm saying is that to execute the special teams, to be all on the same page, to get it done, that's part of the process. Now, the next step of the process is using that like great teams do and executing and making it into big points, 14 points instead of the 7 or instead of field goals. That's the process. So, the effort's there. The talent's not. You nailed it. And it starts with the quarterback. He doesn't have the arm that other guys do, like Stafford does, to throw it into windows, guys that we see around the league. So, but the effort's there. So if that's a moral victory or whatever it is, at the end of the day, it doesn't mean wins and losses, but it means that here's the game plan, the guys believe in it, and they execute.
The thing that concerns me, though, is this, and Dom Rivera says if they play like how they played last week, I think we have a chance to get our first win this weekend. And Terry Foster sat in that chair yesterday and brought up a very good point. He said, we said all the same things going into the Cincinnati game, and they played their worst game of the season. And DMac, you talk about growth, and we have the hashtag 2023 movement across the whole city of Detroit. I'm still working with folks to get those lines of T-shirts printed up and stuff like that. I should do that, actually. It probably would work by each team's color or whatever. But anyway, for me, and this has been your talk all along. And DMac, you've really opened my eyes, like through the Red Wing stuff and into this. There are two separate camps, right? When you can be bad but have growth, and still lose but still have growth. Both things can be true.
It's got to be a process. Let's look around the league, right? And I know, but I look at our team, and you got to learn. Like, let's take the Red Wings, right? Because I'll talk the hockey. There's the process of learning how to win. Do you know, like, where we're at right now with every team? Then there's another stage of suck, right? That's where you're good enough, where you compete, where you get there, and then you climb the hill, hence us in the early 90s before we got over the top.
But then you get kicked back down
and you get kicked back down, and that's a different resiliency that you have to earn. So you have to look at it to say, like, the Lions are in the first spot, but they're actually moving towards going to the second step. That's why the clock, that's why 7 of 34. And I agree. I like when, right now what Dom said is, where are they going to be at 20 of 34? Where are they going to be at 18? These are just different steps. The Red Wings are the same way. The Pistons are the same way. The Tigers are the same way, every which way. You look at the big week it is in college football in this state. We got these two helmets right here, 7-0, 7-0, right? There's this expectation. They've played themselves into higher expectations, especially Michigan State, who nobody thought they'd be here. But now, rubber hits the road. Let's play the game. We'll see what they're made of. So you got to look at the different steps and embrace the different points of suck.
Joique, do you see that, though, as a guy who, was with the Lions as they come up and they reached probably, again, we always talk about that 2014 team as probably the pinnacle of Lions football in the last, going on 2 decades, man. You're starting to push 20 years. In the last 20 years, that was the best Lions team. Do you see that in this team? Just in terms of like a process, like a growth, do you see that, or am I making too much of that?
What you see in this team on the defensive side is the same mentality of we're going to go out there as far as give the same amount of effort. The effort from 2014, the effort now is the same. The talent was not the same, right? And so when you have an offense that's not really giving you much, right? That's not giving you much. It's tough for this type of defense to be out there majority of the game and perform at a high level. The best bet, we talked about what did they need to do to go into this game to win. They did everything they could do defensively and on special teams to put the offense in position to walk away with the game. Right? And we didn't capitalize. And we asked, we say, we don't have the receiving core to and we talk about that. We talk about how Matthew Stafford had Kenny Golladay, how he had Marvin Jones. But you look at Kenny Golladay and Marvin Jones right now, they're averaging 50-something yards a game.
They're just regular.
They had Matt Stafford.
Right.
I think.
And so hold up. So that's what I'm getting to the point of. So we had a Matthew Stafford, a guy who we took for granted. We took his arm for granted, and now he goes to L.A. and now he has a receiver that's about to break the record all time for fantasy points in a Cooper Cup. And so was it the receivers, or was it Matthew Stafford throwing to these receivers and not taking anything away from these guys, because these guys put in work. These guys are good players, but you also have to take into consideration the quarterback that they had at the time, and that's one thing that we don't have right now.
Neal, I opened your eyes to something. Joique opened my eyes to something. The arm strength of Goff and the ability of that quarterback, and you look around the league, who are the guys that can get away with the gun or whatever, where you make your receiver, right? Because if you're hitting the spots and you're reading the thing right and getting it out in time, so that's a great –
yeah,
that's great, because you look at, like, Khalif Raymond has 6 receptions for 115 this weekend, and if you're an NFL wide receiver – with that guy who's got that gun that can take that split second. Aaron Rodgers, he's great. He's more mobile than possible, but he's got the accurate throw. What makes Joe Burrow so good? We saw it because he's got the pop.
Has the pop.
You need the pop.
You need that pop. And so you talk about the guys who I think has a similar arm talent as Matthew Stafford. I will put Aaron Rodgers up there, obviously, and I'll put Patrick Mahomes. I couldn't put anyone else in that stratosphere. Those guys are top tier as far as arm talent. And then you look at now you go away from that and you look at our team. Then you look at the team that he's on now. Like, what's the difference? Like, we put him in, like, he's in a better situation now. And that's kind of that kind of reminds me of the 2014 season when we skipped over Aaron Donald because we needed a tight end now, and we needed to win right now. And so that was one of the reasons why we didn't get Aaron Donald here, is because we were in a position where we knew we had to win that year, because that was going to be the last year that we had that roster. So instead of getting Aaron Donald, we went out and we got Eric Ebron, and that's when L.A. and Brad Holmes was able to get Aaron Donald over to the Rams. And so it's kind of similar now to what the Rams did, because they know they have to win now, and so they came out to Matthew Stafford. So you guys can have our first rounders, because we know we can win right now if we get him here. And that's exactly what they're doing.
You really opened my eyes to that, too, with that 2014 team. I mean, and you kind of saw the light go off. I mean, when I heard Calvin put that into words, it said, I stay here because we could win a ring. And I was like, at first I was like, but then I started thinking about historically great defense, Hall of Fame receiver. Yeah, why wouldn't you guys think that you're fit to take your swing?
One of the best arms in the league. We had a pretty decent run game that year. I mean, we had all the tangibles.
And that's something too. I think Lions fans need to understand, because that's the thing, right? They all kicked the Aaron Donald thing for the Eric Ebron thing, but in your guys' mind at the time, and this is real. You can say what you want, but this is real. I'm sure that's what was going on in this room. If we take this Eric Ebron guy, he could be the missing piece to put us over the top. That was the thought process, right?
That was the thought process on why we didn't get Aaron Donald. A lot of people said, go get Aaron Donald for if Sue leaves. But all right, we can do that, or we can go get this guy that's going to help us win a championship this year. And they were thinking right now, because we have to think right now. And so you look at, you have a quarterback like Matthew Stafford who can thread a needle. I remember what we talk about arm talent, arm strength, what you alluded to earlier, DMac, is you have Darren Orlovsky in the quarterback room with Matthew Stafford, and they're watching the film, and Stafford throws his pass in the game, and Dan wouldn't have threw that pass in 1,000 years. And so he looks to Stafford and said, well, why would you throw that pass? Like, why would you even attempt that pass? He said, because quarterbacks like you can't make that throw. just like that. Told him just like that. And so that
real talk.
Real talk. And so that what makes him so.
It's not what we think. It's
right,
what we know.
Right, exactly. So his strength, right? So his strength of making those passes, making those throws, can also be his weakness if one of those passes get picked or something like that. But we never complain about it when it works. Like the no-look passes, like Stafford was doing that years ago, like a decade ago. He's still doing it.
I got a question for you when we come back from break. But you mentioned something about the fantasy Cooper Cup.
Yeah.
No way.
Well, he's certainly not an underdog in the fantasy world. But let me tell you something. The NFL season's underway. And look, let's get real, people. Your fantasy team stinks right now, okay? You drafted Saquon Barkley, or you got Clyde Edwards-Helaire thinking, all right, I got these 2 running backs, 1 and 2. I'm set to roll. No, you're not. Your team stinks. So why don't you get a new one? And you can do that every week with Underdog Fantasy, where you can win cash prizes. Through the slick mobile app and user-friendly site, you can join a league and draft a team in minutes. Plus, the folks at Underdog can help you get started. They'll give you a free $10 when you sign up and make your first deposit with the promo code WSN. So just go to UnderdogFantasy.com. Go to the App Store, the Google Play Store, whatever your flavor is. Sign up with the code WSN. Deposit $10. You get $10 free. Folks, give it a spin, man. Make fantasy relevant again in your world, because it's not right now. Underdog Fantasy, promo code WSN. Again, go to UnderdogFantasy.com.
You know why realtors love using Hall Financial as a lender? Because of our commitment to speed and service. We have nearly 4,000 5-star reviews already. Call today, 248-308-5000, or go to callhallfirst.com.
Fellas, football season is here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Get to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Walk in, relax, watch your favorite team play, and before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Get to Lady Jane's, open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Off and running here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, here on our Woodward Sports YouTube channel, on the social media platforms, on Twitter, on the radio side as well, 93.5 The Roar, 99.1 FM, and of course, 94.7 WCSX HD2 as well. My name is Neal Rule. That dude over there is Joique Bell. That dude over there is DMac, Darren McCarty. And, 20% of the time, McCarty season's ended lifting up cups, if you're into, math.
If you're into stats and, another 2 times I watched another team lift it, 6 out of 15, make to the finals. I mean, but, back to stat, because here's the thing, Joique, and you have the great perspective because you played with Matt Stafford, the 2014 team, whatever. Did you see things from Stafford because you played with them, with this Rams team around it? Does it, legitimately that they are a Super Bowl contender, right? They, as far as the team, or what are they missing, or what's the difference?
They have opportunity.
They have opportunity?
They have opportunity. They figure out ways to win. To be able to go out there and still figure out a way to win after 2 fake punts and after an onside kick, you're basically losing 3 possessions, right? And your defense will go out there and hold down the fort and prevent the team from scoring a touchdown. They have an opportunity to go out there and play. Like that game yesterday, I would compare that game to me growing up playing Madden and me not wanting to punt the ball on 4th down. So I would compare that game to that. And when you have, a 0-16, which is 0-7 now, you can go out there and you can do those type of things because, what do you have to lose at this point? There's no way we're going out there and we're 5-1 and we're not putting that ball, on 4th down, or we're kicking an onside kick after we just scored a touchdown. Is at this point, we know we need help on the offensive side. Now, we did come out and score on the opening drive, but to go back down there and score again and try to extend that lead by 2 scores, it would have gave the defense a little bit more help, a little bit more of that 1-2 to go out there, let's get the ball back for our offense. They're rolling now. So, I can compare this team right now to the 2014 team. They have a really solid D line. They have some solid linebackers. One of the best DBs in the game right now playing, which he got a pick, which will happen to be his birthday. Shout out to Aaron Donald for getting him that pick. That was definitely a pressure pick.
And he's done that. Here's the one thing, you're talking about Jalen Ramsey and we're talking about Aaron Donald or whatever, but what I've seen, not only in this game, but in previous games, him picking off late in the game, changing the momentum, being that game changer. Oh, yeah. And to put so you can look at a moral victory. Oh, we were in a position. No, we have to improve because that's what championships defense is, and that's what the defense of 2014 could do. Yeah, that reminded me of Sue knocking it up and Slay jumping in there and picking it up.
The only thing that's different right now is the play calling on offense, right? With a Sean McVay who's a guy who's going to put his guys in position to be successful. He's going to look at each player and say, okay, what what's your best quality as a football player? And then now let's take that quality and let me bring it out on a football field. So let me be smarter, because good offensive coordinators, they don't try to make players conform to their type of offense, right? They don't do that. What they do is they go out and they build their offense around their players. All right, this is what we have. That's why you have a guy like Cooper Kupp. He's on pace to break the fantasy football record right now. He's on pace for most points in the season. So, you have guys like that. And this is the only thing this team doesn't have. It doesn't have a Hall of Famer receiver, right? It doesn't have a Hall of Famer. It has a Hall of Famer and probably a DB or on the defensive line, but they don't have a Hall of Famer wide receiver right now. But we have a guy like Matthew Stafford throwing you the ball. He can make you a little bit better than what you are.
Well, as a fan from the outside that didn't play football, and then I listen, and you listen to when the league figured out, and it's sort of imperative, right? So you have Sean McVay and Jared Goff together in the earpiece, McVay reading it, and it showed that when teams adjusted defensively and made their adjustments after that 15 seconds where Goff had to read. So the difference now is you got McVay reading before helping Stafford out, and then Stafford being able to read and check down to all these different things. You got like two quarterbacks out there. That's putting both guys in the best position. So you're talking about they know who they are. Their self-awareness of every one of their players is top-notch, and that's what you need to win championships.
Joique, on our YouTube chat thread, this has become a discussion, and I really want to line this one up for you because, again, you open my eyes to this, and you know what? I will, from this day forward, I will defend the Lions in that situation because they took a swing with the whole Eric Ebron, Aaron Donald. They took a swing.
They took a swing.
And you cannot hit a home run if you don't swing the bat, man. Like that's just the way it is.
It's an issue when Eric Ebron comes in, he doesn't perform the way you want him to perform his first year.
Right.
He ended up turning into a Pro Bowl tight end. After he left the Lions, he went on. He became, because he always had that talent, right? But you see a guy like Aaron Donald, a guy that we could have got. It's the same way we could have got OBJ.
Right. Well, that turns out that it was better off the other way because, you look at all the money OBJ's making versus the performance, especially with the Browns. The Browns are taking the L on that contract. They just are. That's not.
Yeah, I mean, they are right now for
output
sure. But,
output.
You look at Aaron Donald and what he's doing. We're like, why would we, no one knew. No one was saying get Aaron Donald when the draft was here. No one's complaining, yelling at the top of the line. We should have got this guy. We should have. No, they did what they thought was best for the organization.
Well, let me put it to you this way. Hungry Panda Studios on our YouTube chat thread says, if we didn't draft Nick Fairley, who wasn't in need the year before, then we would have drafted Aaron Donald. Now, Joique, my initial response to that is because you had Nick Fairley, that's why you were closer to taking a swing on Eric Ebron.
Exactly. And so what made them think we didn't need Nick Fairley? Why didn't we need him?
What do great teams in any sport? What do great teams, organizations do? They take a swing, and if they miss, they go, okay, we swung here and missed, but they have a game plan. You know what I'm saying? Instead of just now and then. So you're right. How can you, just because you swing, baseball's tough. You bat 300, you make it to the Hall of Fame.
I don't know how they feel like we didn't need Nick Fairley. Like, that was a need.
You were on that team. Break it down.
Yeah, we needed Nick Fairley. I mean, I think we had just lost Corey Williams, who was on the D-line. I think he had just left, and we picked up Nick Fairley. I think that was a big pickup for us. They probably knew a couple guys on the tail end of their career. They knew his talent level. He came in. He provided what we needed for the team. I mean, he was on that 2014 team. That's the guy that hit me the hardest when we were playing the Patriots, and I broke 3 tackles to the sideline. He brought that energy to the defense, and he also brought it to the offense because whenever he made a play, I just felt that energy on the sideline. The same way if I ran through a guy's face, it brought him energy on the sideline, and so we kind of fed off of each other. And that was a guy I loved having in the locker room, man. I don't think he wasn't not a need.
Oh, yeah. Right. And then Juices Ghost follows that up and says, Aaron Donald versus Eric Ebron is exactly why you draft the best player available. And normally I would say, yes, you're right. I would say, like the Lions in this draft coming up, yes, because of there's a plethora of needs. Right. But where you guys were, again,
Yeah.
You felt you were one player away from really making a run.
All right, and if you look at Calvin said he really felt we could have won. I mean, we had Brandon Pettigrew still, right? Our blocking tight end, and then we had Eric Ebron to come to be that other threat in the receiving core. And then we had Kelvin Johnson, we had Golden Tate, we had Ryan Broyers, who was battling some injuries. And so we had a nice squad. You had me and Reggie Bush at the running back, along with Theo Riddick, who was probably the best route running running back out of the backfield in the entire NFL. So we had a solid team. We had a decent offensive line. So it's what do you do? What do you do? You go get a guy that you go get Aaron Donald, who's going to play over. You got
here's
Nick
the thing,
Fairley balling. You got Aaron Donald's going to be balling. You have Sue that's down there balling. You have C.J. Mosley that's down there balling. Who's going to be our threat at tight end? We're just not going to have a threat on offense.
At the end of the day, right? At the end of the day, when I would talk to you, talk to Calvin, talk to anybody, you guys believed in that locker room that you had a chance, and obviously
Calvin put his career on it.
What I'm saying,
like he signed that contract, put his career on it.
So as a fan, if I'm going, so the locker room loves everything they got, the Hall of Fame guy in the locker room puts his career to stay here, let's draft somebody up. Yeah. What do you... Because it didn't work out, your hindsight, like blow it out your rear end. But the fact is these guys love what they had. You know what I'm saying? And it just did not work out because the ref screwed it. Ref.
Well, it is funny though.
That's
now.
Tough, man.
It is funny now though, because I can sit here and watch this go on. When I get mixed up with Joique and we're talking about football or whatever, this chat thread lights up and they're like, okay, Neal, I'm going to side with the guy that played in the NFL. When I'm coming at you with contracts or stuff like that, I'm going to side with the guy that played in the NFL.
Because Calvin signed that contract in 13, after the 2012 season. I think he signed that right after he broke the NFL record for receiving yards.
He put his career on the thought process that you guys were a player away.
He sat in that chair and told us that.
Yeah, we were a player away in 2014.
A player away.
The 2013 was almost the identical roster. The only thing that changed was the coaching staff.
Yeah. See, that's what it is, though, guys. That's
one more year with that team. If we could have kept that team together for one more year.
I know the difference. The player you guys needed was the Coast Portland Machete. If you went to coastportland.com back in the day and used WSN20 Joique, this might have put you guys over the edge. Actually, you guys didn't need this. You guys got through the line really, really hard. But if you need one, go to coastportland.com. The leaves are coming down. It's outdoor season. We got lamps. We got headlamps. We got everything for you do-it-yourselfers, your first responders, anything you need. Thank you, coastportland.com, WSN20. Tell them Big D Energy sent you. Joique Bell, Neal Rule, Darren McCarty. We're here on this happy Tuesday talking Lions. We're going to get into state and Michigan next. Woodward Sports Network.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We're recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10.5 months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
a graduate of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Spirited show here on Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Rule, Joique Bell, DMac, Darren McCarty. Also, and don't forget, we have you covered here at Woodward Sports for the Michigan State game. We'll be broadcasting live from East Lansing on Saturday. That's right. Woodward Sports and Gypsy Vodka will be bringing you the coverage. Hopcat in East Lansing. Look, you're going to go to Hopcat anyway, right? Like, that's what you're going to do.
Good.
Hopcat's got it popping, man. Like
you gotta get some of those. I think they changed the name. It used to be called Crack Fries, and they changed it to something else.
Yeah, but it's still the same thing.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
And you gotta step lightly too.
With the cheese sauce they have.
You get some of that Hopcat beer. You gotta step lightly too, because remember, it's a noon game, people. You gotta pace yourself to some degree.
They have the vegan burger. They got the vegan burger there.
DMac. It's a noon game, bro. You get into Hopcat, dude. Hopcat. You're gonna square up with Hopcat. You better,
Well, you know what? I never squared up with Hopcat, but back in the day, I would have been ready to go. I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have made it into the game, though.
You say you would have made it into the game? I'm tell you right now, they got that. They have that vegan burger with the pretzel bun there.
Yeah,
nice.
Pretzel buns are strong, man.
They hit hard.
No, I do. I like them, no question about it. But did want to get into the Michigan State stuff, which we will in just a couple of minutes. Did you guys fall for the okie doke yesterday and watch Monday Night Football?
Yeah, we watched it. I watched it a little bit.
It doesn't fall into okie doke when you watch it on the Eli and Peyton network because you don't even watch the game, and it's like background noise or whatever like that. That was the first time I tuned into it.
Okay, what'd you think?
I loved it. Tom Brady was on there, then they had Sue Bird and Marshawn Lynch. I liked it.
Do we have some clips of that?
I liked it a lot because total personalities. Talking, busting him out about his Pitt game, showing Canton picture of Peyton's shirt and it's half sweat. It looks like they're joking like we would, like, hey, what'd you do? Dump the Gatorade on him and stuff like that. Yeah. I just thought you get everything. Like, there's no show. That's who they are, right? That's who they are, and you can tell.
Funny. In the jokes back and forth. Hey, let's keep it rolling, Eli. Tom Brady has a curfew. It's a bad time for you.
Wait, go put your jammies on. Hey, Tom, we're going to keep you through this break. You want to go put your pajamas on?
But that's his sense of humor. That really is his sense of humor. It's funny.
It's funny as heck because Peyton's can be schwarmy a little bit, right? Eli's just Eli and stuff, and then Tom's just... If you don't love Tom Brady even more, like, he just makes you like him because he's a real dude.
What it was? You saw the pass that he threw his 600 touchdown, right? You saw what they gave him?
Yeah,
they gave him like 2 season passes, which
they gave him 2 year season tickets.
It's not even 2 years. It's not even 2 years.
Yeah,
it's a year and a half.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the rest of this year,
right?
And then next year, and then I think a signed jersey, some game cleats. $1,000 store credit, and but Tom Brady. So this wasn't even in it. Tom Brady gave him a Bitcoin.
Right.
Oh, he gave him a Bitcoin?
Yeah. He gave him a Bitcoin, which at the time was worth $63K. But
Tom Brady gave him a Bitcoin?
He gave him a Bitcoin.
And Mash, how can you better come on bottom line at 2 to 4 today and say, I hate Tom Brady, but he's a great dude.
Yeah.
You better.
Yeah, he gave him a Bitcoin.
Oh, man, I didn't even know that.
After he saw what they gave, he said, hold on. Because that ball appraised, I think, in the auction was like 500, 700 grand.
Yeah.
And so even with that Bitcoin, it will be worth that probably another 5-10 years from now.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, yeah. They say Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million, right?
Well, the highest projection I've seen for a Bitcoin, for one, is $10 million. And that was like...
All right, so
that means that's just...
So he gave him the investment, like if the ball sat, so he can sit that pick, the kid who got it. And you know what? Whatever it is, my opinion, it's the same thing, is that's the person who has the ball, right? If he's you gave it to a guy who's the hugest fan and he accepts the deal. It's like signing a contract, right? You have to be what your commitment is, and you're part of it, and don't worry about the rest of it, right? Everybody else, it's easy to count everybody else's money, but... That's props to Tom Brady because that's a great point. He gave him an investment.
Yeah.
He gave him something that's bigger than that.
Yeah.
Which how do you not even know that the fact that he gave this Bitcoin, that it turns that whole kid's world or person or whatever into the cryo? To me, it's bigger than that because it's the compassion.
Did you hear him talking about that on the show? Did you hear Tom Brady talking about it on the show?
No.
So when he was talking to Eli and Peyton, he basically said, basically when that guy gave the ball back, he lost all his leverage.
Yeah.
he was critical of his business decision.
Right.
Yeah.
And so for me, the guy probably didn't even think that was his 600. He probably didn't even know until after the fact. And he just
like Mike Evans didn't know.
Yeah, I guess it gave it to the guy.
Hey,
there's no way I'm giving that ball back. All right, there's no way I'm giving that ball back. I'm going to sit there. I'm holding on to the ball.
Especially in the moment.
In the moment? No, that's not getting this back. No. I think this is similar to when Mark McGwire or somebody hit a home run and a person catches the ball and they keep it, they have to pay some type
We were talking about that during the Miguel Cabrera 500 home run thing. What would you do? But luckily for Cabrera, he hit it into the Tigers bullpen. So they had it and they gave it to Miguel and that was it. But my stance with the Miguel Cabrera, just to internalize it here in Detroit, the Miguel Cabrera thing, maybe I'm a bad dude, I don't know, but Tom Brady's 600 ball, you're talking about $500,000, like that that takes care of my mortgage. You know what I'm saying? Like, that pays off the house. That's college for all my kids. Like,
yeah,
it's a question of scruples.
Yeah,
it's a personal question, right?
Yeah.
To what means something to you or whatever else. So
you said 500. I'm letting it go for 1.5.
hey, you know what?
Why?
Why? You know what? You should ask yourself, why didn't you get the ball? Why'd that person get the ball?
Listen,
that's all I'm saying. It's the same thing.
I would have been in that bullpen. I would have been sitting right behind that bullpen and fell in trying to catch it. I'm just serious.
I'm just serious.
I'm just playing. Unless you're going to do it.
Serious.
I wasn't going to do it, girl.
No, but I'm saying I would have gone ahead and dealt with the business and things. I think I would have been like Joique in that. Let's sleep on this tonight. Let's talk to some folks.
Let's talk. Let's sit down. Let's talk tomorrow.
Yeah.
Over dinner. At a 5-star.
Yeah. On your tab.
No. On the team tab.
Yeah. Whoever.
The team gonna take care of us. Let's sit down. Let's talk about it. You know, that thing is going in the safe.
Does anybody know how many Bitcoin Tom Brady has?
No one knows. It should be enough though.
I hope he remembers the password.
He might be sitting on probably a few hundred Bitcoins. He might be. Yeah, because your wealth is not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Just put it in there. Just relax.
But speaking of that, though, when we're talking about the Manning broadcast, which certainly is enjoyable, and I saw some criticism of it on our YouTube chat thread. Somebody said if they want to do that, why don't you just do a podcast then? I don't know what it is. I mean, I know what it is. It's like what DMac is saying, where we want things to feel regular. And broadcast, and again, I do television, radio broadcast for a living. It's how I eat. I feel as though that DMac is right, because I would love to call a game like that. I would love to have producers on board where we could say, you know what, I'm going to sit here and have a beer with my color commentator, and we're going to talk regular.
We're just going to chop it up, and hey, and by the way, they got a 3-4. They're going to run this. I looked him to fake off here, and he's going to do this. Like, I love that when you notice it. Like, if I'm watching a game, we're at a game. Yeah. We're going to go to a game, Wings game, and something will be happening. We'll be sitting there, and I'll be going, okay, Joique, watch this. See how this is, and you can see the play develop because I watch it differently. It's the same as you take me to a Lions game, and it's third down, and I look to you 3rd and 5, and you're like, you see the formation, you're walking over there to get a water or something like this. You're not even paying attention, and you're calling the play that you know they're going to run, right? So I think that it brings the intricacy, especially to the games that are boring.
It is.
Especially to the games that are boring.
I like that.
To your Thursday night, like this weekend, Thursday night is Green Bay, Arizona. So that's a good game. That's where you want to watch it. But this Monday night game, Mudfest, Lions game, stuff like this, bring the people to it and then let them discuss, because they still talked about the game, and you could still feel like, oh, there's a game going on, but you're not engulfed in it.
No, you're not. You know, and it brings out that sense of humor you can see. And I think they have that credibility to do it. I don't think everyone can go out there and do what they do week in, week out.
And that's my fear with the broadcasting world, because we are seeing this. I'm for that as long as they're good. And there's a very finite number of guys that are good at that level. Very small number.
Because you got to think, he's going out there and he's really just being himself. Like, I can come on the show, I can be myself. That's really how he is in real life, right? It's hilarious. You know, it's 4th and 1. Hey, Tom, what you got here? What play you dial it up for me? You know, and, it's stuff like that he can go out there and do, because that's just who he is. He's been calling plays and doing stuff like this, a majority of his life, 3/3 of his life. And so, yeah, it's for me, it's fun.
And they love it.
I love
it. Those quarterbacks, when you see the 3 of them or whatever, when they're looking at, they love it when they're talking about, remember Rex's defense, and when you do this, and then Pittsburgh knows the same thing, and they have a style, and they have a style. I would love it. So taking it back to the Lions is when some sort of show like this, when they're talking, it goes, well, the Detroit system's this, and Pittsburgh system's this, and Seattle's is this, and different things like that. I loved it at the end too. When Peyton was saying that Tony Dungy totally sold him out of how to play against Peyton Manning, he's like, Coach, what is? He goes, Tom, how do you break you down? He goes, oh, man to man. You got to post up on Mike Evans and bring your best game on Godwin and Evans and whatever. Play them 1-to-1. I can't make that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we're totally like not telling. You're in on the joke, and he knows it's a joke. But the best part is like, it's like social media and stuff like that's the good parts of it, where you get to see behind the scenes and who the person really is.
You're right.
Joique, let me ask you this, because people are asking, and I'm putting you on the spot a little bit with this.
Oh,
if you're the Lions, because people are talking about Goff, and they're reacting how you think they would react.
Yeah.
People have like this thing, they want to see David Blau play. They can't go there, right? They can't.
Why not?
Because Goff gives you the best chance to win, Joique. We've seen David Blau play.
Yeah. Do we want to win now?
Well, I never wanted to win to start.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, neither one is good enough right now. I mean, if you're looking at the numbers. Like
right,
Goff,
like Goff's not, but we know Blau's not.
Like, this is the thing, like, this past game, he played with more heart. That's what I want to see. It's not about wins or losses. I just wanted to see him play with more heart, stay in the pocket, make the passes, take the hits, make better decisions. And he was taking what the defense gave him, right? He was taking what the defense gave him. But with that being said, his numbers, they aren't good enough. His numbers aren't good enough. It's not. You know,
it's a resume game sometimes.
You're throwing more interceptions than you're throwing touchdowns. You know, you're going 22 for 36 for 268. That's not going to cut it against a team like the Rams. It's not going to cut it. You know, and that's probably why they did the fake punts. That's why they did the onside kick, because they knew they needed every opportunity they could get, or as many football possessions that they could get, in order to kind of walk away with the game, to kind of give them a cushion. And we didn't score a touchdown on either one of those.
Yeah, but David Blau is not the answer.
No, he's not the answer. But you know,
if he were, because you can't do that to the rest of those guys, man. That's why I think you tell me. Like that's why I think they don't go that route.
This is the route here. This is what you go. It doesn't matter who you put at quarterback. If they're making plays, they're making plays. If you're looking at that defense, right, and the defense is out there playing there and they're grinding, and then they get the ball back for the offense, and then the offense goes 3 and out, and then the defense back out there, it's going to make us look bad. It's going to look something similar to Cincinnati, because honestly, in my opinion, defensively, we didn't play horrible. They just had us on the field all game. We're tired. You can't keep the defense on the field.
Right.
And so, you know, I'm pretty sure after that game, though, with the defense been out there on the field all game, I'm pretty sure they were hungry.
I'm sure they were hungry. And you know what? They were in luck, too, Joique, because if they go to Papa Romano's, they could hook it up with the Gruesome Twosome Halloween Special. Get 2 large one-topping pizzas for $19.99. And, you know, again, Halloween pizza, they go hand in hand. That's the official food of Halloween weekend. You know, they sell more pizzas Halloween weekend than they do any other time during the year. My family owned a pizza place, I can tell you that. So it's a great deal at the right time. Papa Romano's, you can do it right now for lunch if you want to at the office. If you're not feeling the pizza, you know the drill. The salads, the sandwiches, all of that as well. PapaRomanos.com. That is the answer. Get that lunch squad together and hit it up. Gruesome Twosome Halloween Special. 2 large one-topping pizzas for just $19.99. Do it or you're losing money.
Big D.
Hey.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
You know, I woke up this morning, it was kind of cold. So you know what I had to do? I had to wake up, I had to call Northwestern Tech to learn and start a new career today. Call northwesterntech.edu. Joique Bell, Neal.
Big D Energy back at it here.
Sawyer.
Moving on to the second hour of the program. Happy to have you along for the ride. My name is Neal Rule. That's Joique Bell. That's DMac, Darren McCarty also. And just cleaning up a couple of the YouTube chat comments as well. Saquon Barkley, sigh. Well, that went back to the Underdog Fantasy. Go to Underdog Fantasy. You can get a whole new fantasy team. But I'll tell you what, the Alvin Kamara owners were happy last night. Joique, have you ever seen a situation or played in a situation where a dude has 20 carries for 50 yards, like 2.5 yards a pop, but then pops off receiving? How is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, he has a large workload on him, and they talked about it in the game about how he's a smaller type back. and his workload is very heavy, getting 20-plus carries a game, and then getting stopped in the run game, and then going into the receiving game and getting creative with a guy who's probably one of your best players on the team and getting him out in the open field, and then goes out there and he just cooks Ryan Neal for 10 catches, 128 yards, and just eating. And he plays with that gorilla, man. He really does. I mean, it's a small guy, but hard to bring down.
The low center of gravity, all the cliches.
Yeah, all of that, but it's this offseason. They talk about his offseason workouts. He has one of the hardest offseason workouts. His balance is ridiculous. Like the type of workouts he does with stabilizing himself on, say, he's standing on top of a Swiss ball and they're throwing these, I don't even know what you call it. It's like these little boomerang things that have, 3 different colors of black, red, blue. They throw them in the air and they call out the color. You got to catch that color while you're stabilizing on this Swiss ball. There's a lot of other things he does too, but the way his training is unorthodox, but it works for him. It really does.
It sounds like it puts him into game positions, like stuff like that where you get pushed and pulled, and then where's that ball coming out? Right, left. But he's special.
Yeah,
and they know it, right? The coach knows it, and they heavy workload because he can handle it, right? And he knew with Drew Brees leaving, moving Jameis Winston, and that this is a big year, and it's incredible to watch a guy when the ball's going to him, when he's going to get it, and you can't be stopped in the professional leagues. It's crazy.
It's true.
He's got it going. There is no doubt about that. One of the more electric players in the NFL. Skipper Stone says more pizza than Super Bowl weekend, and he's got that little thinking emoji mark. Yes, the Halloween is the busiest day of the pizza year. It pops, man. Just trust me, it does. Because what are you going to do? Cook? I mean, especially if you got kids. You know what I'm saying? Like if you got kids, you're not cooking on Halloween, man. So, yeah, just trust me, guys. The numbers at my family's pizza
down
place.
their throat before the candy, right? You know what I'm saying? That's a parental compromise.
It is, man. So there's this talk too, and I want to set this in stone too as we wrap up the Lions stuff. MZ says Lions paying Goff $30 million for 2 seasons to tank, and then the Lions will rebuild and move on. And yes, because again, guys, get this straight. It was almost like there were 2 trades that the Lions made: trading Stafford to get the first-round pick, and then taking a first-round pick to take Goff. Does that make any sense, DMac? Like that's
no, absolutely. You can break it down that way if you look at it, and it's a means to an end. Right. I mean, it's almost like at the end of the day, you're in the perfect situation. You and I talked about it. That big friggin' deal. If you lose, as long as you don't have to be back here again. Now, if we're 0-17, that's way too close to the 0-16 season, but it's going to put you in a position to allow what you think is there. Brad Holmes putting a team together, but having the draft capital, to be able to do it. And the salary cap, right? So it's a perfect storm. It just sucks to go through it. You might as well hibernate and wait till the end of the year, or wait till the 37 and 34 goes away, where it's all 34, and see where we're at. But I do think that they win this week, though. I do. First victory against Philly.
I hope not, but I am worried. I'll be out there for the pregame show. Joique will be out there for the pregame show as well, live from the Tin Roof. Chris Spielman Day as well. Juices Ghost and a third. That's right. I always gloss over that 3rd round pick for some reason, but it really is. It really is a big part of it. And look, guys, they know. In that room, Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, they know. They know. You can see it in his eyes when he talks. He just can't come out and say.
Here's the thing. If we know, guys. If we know,
they
know. They know before everything else. They knew way before.
Yeah.
So.
No, there is no question. The Michigan Wolverines got the win over Northwestern. They did their part, and we're going to talk Michigan State coming up in just a couple of seconds. They beat Northwestern 33-7. Blake Corum, 119 yards, 2 touchdowns. Haskins had 110 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Northwestern, they did what they could. They were just not capable of scoring. they popped off one big play. That was it. It was a struggle to watch them play offensively. But, it's Michigan's calling card, Joique. I know that's special to your heart.
They have an opportunity. You know, the only thing that concerns me is the passing game. All right. You're throwing for 129 yards, but at the same time, you have the number 6 rushing offense in the whole country, right? So you have that, but you look, you know, not looking at this game, but you look down in the future when we're playing Ohio State. You know, they can throw in, they can.
You're going to have to score to beat them,
right? You're going to have to score
in the 30s.
You know, and you have a Michigan defense that's 11th overall in the entire NCAA, and so
they've played some offensively challenged teams, though. Yeah. You know, to be fair, they have,
right, and so. But this is going to be a great test for them, right? This weekend coming up, this Saturday at noon, we're going to see. We're going to see. And only time can tell. I just want to see Kay McNamara, if need be, can get the ball in the air. Just, you know, you're going to make one of these receivers a go-to receiver, right? We haven't seen that threat at their receiver spot like we would like since Ronnie Bell, you know, and he's been out since the Western Michigan game. And so this is going to be a long game. They're going to put their hard hats on and let's see what happens.
What about that, Joique, too? Because for this Michigan passing game, and I was watching it, you know, you were watching it, it's such a struggle for them to complete a pass down the field. That's got to weigh on. And here's the thing, Joique. When you talk about a running attack, like these two running backs that they have, you have to play perfect in that, A, you cannot turn the ball over, B, you can't have holding penalties because that'll kill your drive as well. You have to play clean football. Puts pressure on you, right?
It puts pressure on Kay McNamara. But the thing he does well is protecting the football. I think he has 1 turnover his entire career. That came a couple weeks ago. But I think what he does well is taking what the defense gives him. I think, in some of the time, he can't take those shots down the field because they're not there. So he's just taking what the defense gives him. And so I don't know if it has anything to do with play calling, get more creative. But they have to go out there and take some shots. And they have to keep that defense honest. You can't keep a defense honest when you're just running the ball, 5-yard pass, come back. You got to take some shots in the game.
Yeah, DMac, I know you feel the juice for this Saturday as well, as everybody does. And again, Woodward Sports will be live at Hopcat in East Lansing for the Michigan State pregame show. they're already lining up on the YouTube chat. Here comes the Venom.
I don't think you got Venom. I think you got everything we think. By the end of the game on Saturday, we will know who's moving forward and stuff like this and the way it plays out.
But you know what though, DMac, I don't even think we're going to know Saturday. And I know either side that wins, they're going to jump up and down. I think it'll be more Michigan fans that would do it instead of Michigan State fans, because I heard somebody talking about this earlier this week. I don't think either of these teams are a national championship factor. I don't think either of these teams are a contender for a national championship.
No, I don't. Who is talking about that? That's not even the question. The question is, are they building out to be competitive in the big? Because let's not, the elephant in the room, you still got to beat Ohio State, take Ohio State off. What Penn State did, they did you a favor. But if you're building to be one of the powerhouses that you're supposed to be in the Big Ten, these are the games of building it. So you put yourself, both teams have put themselves in a position, right, of being undefeated. So you say that Nash, who knows? You got to take care of this game. And without the talk coming out of Michigan and what they faced in the first half, right, wasn't easy, but they persevered, game plan, and did whatever else. Yes, the passing game, we will come down to it, because I believe that if they can complete passes and use the passing game to help the already 6th in the nation running game, then Michigan has a great chance and probably win this game. If they can't, then State is good enough, well enough coached, well enough prepared. Their quarterback takes care of the ball also, that's what they're going to need to come out of it. But it's confidence into moving forward. And this is the biggest Michigan State game in such a long time because of where both programs are at.
Juice's Goat says both these teams barely have enough to be Big Ten contenders. And that's, that is fair. And if you were going to bet your mortgage on a Big Ten champion right now, you're still going to bet on Ohio State.
Absolutely,
that doesn't change.
But we're talking about looking for the building points, right? Before it was just Ohio State and maybe Penn State flashed in there and Northwestern flashed or whatever. It's who's going to flash that season instead of build the program. So every year, Ohio State, even though they think they got no competition, they know in the back of their head, right, that they know that these programs are coming. Because then you have to compete when you're arguably, when we're starting at the beginning of the football season going, well, I don't know. It could be Michigan State. It could be Michigan. It could be Ohio State. When we feel that, when we believe that, then that's when legitimately you could have a question about could they get to the Final Four or the Final 8, whatever the playoffs are. Right now, this is about who's building the program, and is the quiet coming out of Michigan the key to Harbaugh? Is what Mel Tucker's done at a short time in 2 years? Boom. Let's play the game. Perfect. Well, no more. I mean, it's we're not there yet. Quit trying to get, because you're undefeated doesn't mean crap. I mean, it means something for your team, for your team's confidence, though. Absolutely, and you're recruiting and your bragging rights, and obviously at the end of the day. So, and Braylon said something that I have to allude to, because it's true. A lot of these guys are are homies. They're from here. They're homers. And so when they play this game, and then they go back home, and they go back home for say the holidays, Thanksgiving, Christmas. Like when these guys come back, they're gonna go out. They're gonna link up with their friends. And then the guys might they might have played against each other in high school. They're gonna see these guys out, and when they see them out, you don't want to be on that losing end, because there's gonna be a lot of chirping. There's always a lot of chirping, right? And so, but that's a good thing, though. I think that's also good for the game. I think that kind of that heightens the game a little bit more than what it really is, because not only do you have Michigan, who was the big brother, beating up on the little brother, it's them coming back saying, "Oh, we're undefeated too. We're undefeated. Let's see who wins." And I think it'll be a great game. I think it'll be a real good game, and it can go either way. It really can go either way.
It really can, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more when we come back. But weekend of big games. People are saying the Lions can win, and if you're going to be downtown, here's the itinerary, folks, because the Lions taking on the Eagles at Ford Field. Slide on through. Pull up on the tin roof on the second floor from 11 to 1 on Sunday. Man. Do it. Joique will. I will. Maz and Jade from WRIF will be out there as well. Lions pregame show 11 to 1 live on our YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. You can come on out, win great Woodward Sports prizes and more. So that certainly will be a lot of fun. Joique gets down and breaks stuff down, man. It's pretty cool to talk about Jalen Hurts. My guy, Jalen Hurts.
Your guy. What's special about him again?
Hey, you know what? The guy can make plays with his feet, man. Lions need to do that. They need to take a look at that. When everything is broken down, that's what I saw yesterday with Jameis Winston. I had always undersold his ability to run the football. I don't know why I had done that in the past. He can move with the ball. Yeah. He can move with it. But the post game after. Roll on through the brass rail downtown. Brought to you by Woodward Sports and Jim Beam. They'll start broadcasting live with the 2-minute warning of every game. They want to celebrate Dan Campbell's first win. At least they hope to, anyway. Stick and Anson will be down there at the brass rail in downtown Detroit. And you can come on out. Join the after party with a VIP area for Woodward Sports fans. There'll be pizza and more. The official postgame for Detroit football is at the brass rail downtown Detroit.
Hi, I'm David Hall from Hall Financial. With historically low interest rates and 5-star service, you could pay your mortgage off faster without increasing your monthly payment. Get started now at 248-308-5000 or chat with us online. Call hallfirst.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Getting deep here in hour number 2 of Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Rule, Joique Bell, DMac, Darren McCarty in the house. Fish is in the bowl. Our guy Sawyer on the 1s and 2s. Happy to have you guys along for the ride. And, everyone's...
Monday Warrior, mean pride.
Everybody's talking about the whole Jared Goff situation and, man, everything that's going on with it. People want to see David Blau, and I just don't get it. I just don't understand. Miki Phelps says trash first, second, and third round picks have been the downfall of this organization for years. But yeah, I would say, Miki, that's why Brad Holmes is here, because of the draft track record. No other reason. So that's why, to me, again, guys, this is a write-off, man. This year and next year. Hate to break it to you guys. That's why Goff's here, because that's what it is. it's a placeholder, I guess you could say. If you're the Lions, your season and your rebuild starts in April when you hear one sound. When you hear this sound. And that's going to tell the story, folks. It is. But
the Detroit Lions with the first pick.
Yeah, and the 27th pick. And now the Detroit Lions start day number 2, pick number 33. That's what it is. All three of them.
Chris, the more you ring that bell, the more picks we're getting in the top 50. Come on, we want to be Philly.
And the bottom line is you got to hit 2 or 3. And then when I say hit, I don't mean you need Hall of Famers. You need 2 guys that get to their second contract.
Well, we talk about it all the time. Look at the second round. Look at the second contract. You nailed it. First thing, can we get guys into their second contract? Where's the cap at? Other teams do this. We don't do this. That's why Brad Holmes is here. That's why we're in this position. So, draft capital, salary cap, all that stuff. So, and people, when you build a war chest, that gives you options because you can also do what LA did and move those picks for a player if so desired. So that's how I think maybe your quarterback comes into play eventually.
Chuck Brewer says, I want to see Neal under center on Sunday. But can I audible? Like, do I have the freedom to audible? That's my question.
Always.
I'll tell you what I would do. Get the ball to DeAndre Swift every single play.
He's good.
Joique.
That
man looks healthy.
Healthy good.
That man looks healthy, Joique.
When he's healthy, he's good. I don't think, his ability on the field has never been questioned.
Right.
The way he ran through the DB and left him just laid out on the field. That's what I love.
Wait, talk about that as when you see that. Do you
that's when you
do you come out of your seat?
He went out there on the field. He took that manhood. He took that manhood. And then the thing is when you run through him and then he falls, you won.
Right.
All right. You won. All right. And he goes back. He goes out, get another 3 or 4 or 5 more yards after the play. But when the play's over and you're walking back to the huddle and he's still laying on the ground because you just ran through his face, that's a more.
You ran through his soul.
You took it.
So
now you saying something. Your soul is mine.
Hey.
He took it. So
I got a question.
I love to see it.
What's the huddle like? So right after that play, if you huddle up, right, are the boys going, whoa, took that boy manhood?
You know what though? When you, it's all a brotherhood. So I want to see him in pain.
Yeah,
but I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him injured. I want to see him hurt.
No, I want to see him hurt. Your will.
Yeah,
right. You have your will.
Right. And so when we get back to the huddle, we'll kind of say, hey, that's a good run. Yeah, I know. But we kind of calm, and then once he gets up and he's able to walk off, we see he's okay. And now we're, oh man, we need that.
Yeah,
that's what we need. And then in plays like that though, and when you go back to the sideline, this is the defense. Defensive players are now looking at you. That's how you run that. That's how you run it.
So that's how you run it. If Nick Fairley was on the sideline after that to DeAndre Swift, he would have a bow moment. Him and Joique would be going.
Oh yeah,
each other,
me and Nick Fairley. If I had a play like that in the game and I come back to the sideline, Nick Fairley was throwing his whole shoulder into me.
And that's the hardest you've been hit.
How much you bounce off that?
Oh, that's the hardest hit I took.
In the celebration.
Coach pulled it up on film. He said, "George, this is the hardest hit you took all day."
Oh, I wonder if we could see that.
I'm glad I did not have to play against that defense in 2014. I'm just gonna, I wasn't scared of him. I'm just glad I didn't have to play against him.
Did he catch you on the exhale?
It was like a play where he hit me and I kind of froze. You can see it on film, and I ran back.
Did he catch you on that exhale, Joique? Be honest.
I can't remember.
Making you make noises, man.
No, I'm gonna say all that.
Making you make noises, bro. No, but just kind of wrapping up this Michigan, and look, we're gonna be on it every single day. There is no doubt about that, but. It's a top 10 matchup. All the national college football preview shows will be out there. We'll be out there at Hopcat as well. Lots of love for the crack fries, too, in the YouTube chat thread. But we'll be out there as well.
The crack fries go live. They go crazy. I'm telling you now. Don't miss out. Don't miss out.
On the YouTube chat thread, people got to remember McVay's won his last 50 games when he's been in the lead at halftime. Jared Goff was there for a lot of those too. So was Aaron Donald though. You know, I'm just saying. No, they are. But this Michigan State stuff, you know, again, we'll get into the X's and O's of it as it goes down. But this is more 30,000 foot with me. What's the Michigan fan breaking point? If they do lose this game, and hear me out, I'm not being a hater. You know, we got a week to talk about this, so I have to throw out scenarios to Michigan fans. What if Michigan State wins? And I know that this is a big if because it depends on how Michigan State were to win and how Michigan, I guess more importantly, how Michigan were to lose. I asked Ryan Armani this yesterday, and so when we leave our show, I go out in the hallway, and Ryan and Braylon and Maz are getting ready for their show, and I always kind of poke my head in there. And I asked Armani that. I said, Ryan, I know that you don't live in this world, but what if? You know, what if Michigan lost to Michigan State? What would your reaction? What do you think your reaction would be? And he said, I would shut off my social media and I would cry. Like that's his reaction. Is that where Michigan fans are?
I think that's 90% of them.
Really? You guys tell me on the YouTube chat.
I think 90%. They've been quiet all year waiting for this, but this is everything to them. They have to win.
My question, what's the best Michigan MSU game you've seen, either on TV or in person?
I would say
more exciting, yeah.
The Plexico Burris one because of the show he put on, and conversely when Braylon played against Michigan State, Braylon was on another level. That
was actually Michigan. That was their biggest comeback in history.
Braylon was on one that night, man. Yeah, he was.
So
those performances, but I enjoyed the clock game. I thought that game was a lot of fun.
Okay, I was gonna say because I was at that Braylon game in the crowd as a recruit, and I was at that game in person. When I tell you, so you get there, it was one of the most amazing games I've ever seen. Right, the atmosphere, and I think going into college or being a high school student watching college, I was more of a fan of college than I was in NFL because of the atmosphere of all the fans. And so for me going into the arena, into the stadium, and them giving me my lanyard, and I have that on, and they're walking us around, and they walk all the recruits down to like our section. We're like front row of the game. We're watching it. I have my uncle with me. He's a little bit older. And so we're watching the game, and Michigan's getting blew out. Halftime comes, third quarter. They're still down by like 3 touches or some 28 points. My uncle said, you know what, Joey, I'm gonna head back to the car and warm it up so I don't have to fight through. He had a bad hip, so he had a bad hip and bad lower back, so he didn't want to have to fight through all that commotion trying to get out. So he left a little bit early. And so he gets back to the car, and now it's the fourth quarter. We done made the comeback. We're in overtime. We're in the second overtime. He calls my phone. Joique, where are you? I said, Uncle, they in overtime. What? What? Hold on. Turns on the radio. Gosh darn it, they is in overtime. What happened? What happened? So he started asking me what happened. I said, I don't know what happened, but I got to go. And I hang up the phone, and the lady, our host, came to us. She said, now listen, guys, if we win this game, we're not going to be able to walk you guys to the tunnel. You guys have your passes. Keep them around your neck. All the students are going to rush the field. Just meet us in the back by the tunnel. And that's when I kind of fell in love. Like I said, and so they end up winning the game, and she was right. Everybody stormed the field. Everyone stormed the field. And I remember I was on the ground. I was on the football field. I was talking to who I was talking, Steve Braxton. And I said, man, you guys bought out today. He said, man, I had to get you one. He had his armor. I had to get you one, little homie. I had to get you one. I said, yeah, I'm coming here, you know. And so we get to the tunnel. We get into the locker room. And at the time, Lloyd Carr was the coach. And so he was addressing the team. And you can just kind of feel the atmosphere in there and the energy. And it was just like that culture that I grew up watching. And I was like in the midst of it. And that's when I said, you know what? This is it. I want to come here. And then when the season was over with, they recruited me for DB. I said, I wish I would go there. I wish I would go play DB. I'm a running back.
And you were right. Michigan was wrong.
Yep.
And then you were right. But you know what? That's a great segue. Because you know what? Football season's here. And whether it's for the Lions, you want to change up their luck. If you want them to win this weekend, or it's Michigan State, you got to look good. Football season's here. It's time to make your grooming experience easy like Sunday morning. Or Tuesday or Wednesday, any day. Because they're open, Lady Jane's. 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Watch your favorite team play. They got TVs inside the mirrors on all of it. The girls do a great job. Get the King's treatment massage. You know, a little bit of a rub before you get ready for that game, noon game on Saturday. Anyway, 7 days a week, 10 to 8. You walk in, you sign in anytime. You know why? Because Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. We're Big D Energy. We'll be right back. Woodward Sports Network.
Okay, you thirsty little spin goblins. I want you to pedal into the next dimension. Spin it! Spin! Spin! Uh-oh! Carmen's falling behind. Let's give her the hiss of shame. Spin! Spin! Spin till you bleed!
Don't ride the bike of shame. Come to Planet Fitness and find your own lane with tons of equipment, free fitness training, and no hissing. Join today for just $10 a month.
Back at it here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Rule, Joique Bell, DMac, Darren McCarty in the house. Also, good show today, man.
It was. It's great energy. It's great. Can I ask a favor for?
Yeah, what you need?
Everyone watching the show, just go hit the like button for me. Go hit the like button. We got about 200 plus people in here. Go hit that like button for us now. You like the show? Do you like the content? Are you not entertained? Go hit the like button for us. We appreciate it.
Joique, I think they do like the content, man. I mean, real talk.
Yeah.
You go through that YouTube channel and the social media. I mean, thousands of views, thousands of interactions, dude. It's popping. Man.
You know what? You know why? Because we got Sawyer on.
1,000,000%.
Yeah. Sawyer.
Shout out to Megan too.
Yeah.
Megan cutting up the clips.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Megan. Yeah.
Oh, the other Megan. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
the other one.
Our Megan.
Shout out to Megan Thee Stallion, though.
Yeah, shout out to Megan Thee Stallion. For sure.
Yeah, she's making the headlines. Did anyone hear about that?
Shout out to Megan here, though. I love Megan.
She does a great job.
She does great work.
But no, Fish, bring us up to speed.
She's on the TV right now. Look at that. Small world. Look at that. We're talking about Megan Thee Stallion. She's popping up right there. Look at that.
Oh, yeah.
I love my. Oh,
what do you got? What do you got, Fish?
You guys didn't hear about what happened with Megan Thee Stallion over the weekend?
I missed it.
Oh, you talking about with the food and them eating their food, the delivery service? Are you talking about that?
Yes.
What happened?
What are you talking about?
She ordered some food off one of the food apps. I don't know if it was Uber Eats. I don't know if it was DoorDash. I don't know if it was Postmates. She didn't want to call out the company, but somebody took half of her food and then gave her the rest of it, and like when they delivered it.
I would have called that person out in a second.
Well, that's
You're lucky
good
it wasn't
stuff,
me.
I guess.
Yeah.
This is different. She was at the F1 race, which stands for Formula One, another form of racing. I know Americans hate F1 because it's not NASCAR. But she was at the F1 race in Austin, Texas over the weekend, and her team basically stopped from being interviewed. One of the interviewers, Martin Brundle, Sky Sports, wanted to interview her, and her team basically said no interview.
Oh, okay.
So a lot of people are pissed at her, pissed at the interviewer, pissed at her team, pissed at everyone. Just let's get mad.
I'm like, see, that's where I overcome adversity because I was able to move on from that. You know, like granted that was a blow for me personally, it was. But I put it, I composed myself. I got back together and I went on with my weekend because you know what, Fish. Life isn't what happens to you. It's how you react to what happens to you.
If you type up Megan Thee Stallion on Google, you're going to see like 20 different news stories about what happened on Sunday. It's pretty wild.
I know, but I want my credit, Fish, for being able to rise up mentally and going on with my weekend despite the fact that she wouldn't do the interview.
Well, she did the interview. Her team wouldn't let her do the interview.
Right.
So a lot of people are
But
angry.
I recovered.
And then I guess there was some famous...
I took a little bit longer to recover from that, but...
I guess there was some famous guy with her that people were wondering why the hell this blonde person was with her. So, I don't know.
Good job, Fish.
All right, thanks, Fish.
All right.
That's
appreciate
the Fish
that.
update right there. F1.
Are you
Pilar. You did that for Pilar.
Our YouTube chat thread, Tammy Chin says, don't jinx it for Michigan, Neal. Why? Here we go, dude. I didn't even do anything.
Michigan they win in Sparty. I wouldn't be worried about that.
No.
I think Michigan will win.
This is the one thing I like about having. So you've been to the game at there, right? And so every first time, what do they say? Do you know what they say every first down?
I've never been.
So every time they get a first down, Michigan State, they'll go 1, 2, 3, first down, beat. And every first down, the whole crowd says it. And my first time going there, I would hear it. I was like, is this something that, and I'm like, it must be only for the first one. And they got another one. They did it again. I said, well, every first time they do this? So it's like, I like it, though. I like the energy it brings.
That was, I went to the game in '97 at Michigan State where Charles Woodson had that interception. It was the greatest play I'd ever seen live in my life. To this day, it's the greatest play I'd ever seen, where he reached up, and I don't know if Sawyer might be able to find it somewhere, where Woodson one-handed it and got his toe down. I mean, it was incredible. Incredible. The greatest play I ever saw in my life. Chuck Brewer says, if Michigan loses and it can totally be pinned on Harbaugh, then he's got to beat Ohio State or he's done. We say that every year, though.
I read this toxic FPV, a little update on the F1, because this reminded me of you, Neal. He said that it was really funny. The interviewer started interviewing her, and the team came up to him and said, you can't interview her. And he looked at her and said, well, I just did. That's right out of, is that right out of the we don't think we know, right? So that's even funnier.
Juice's Ghost wants to know, Fish, why are you Googling Megan Thee Stallion?
I wasn't. I was actually watching the race, and it
That's of
popped
course.
up, and I looked to see if she was trending on any social medias, and I don't know if I'd call it trending, but she was up there.
Did you Google her?
But you know what she's known for?
I'm well aware what she's known for, yes.
Well aware. I like the well aware. Well aware. Okay. All right.
I mean, it's not hard. I mean,
That means I don't want to talk about Joique.
unless they're
well
sleeping
aware.
underneath like 85 feet of grass and ground and dirt, then you know who Megan Thee Stallion
It's buried
is.
at 85 feet.
Matt Murphy says, yes, sir, I was 10 years old at my first MSU game, and my mom let me cuss for the day. LOL. Good for you, man.
There it is. There it is.
Hey,
I had my son there too, so he'll say that part, but he get to that part, I look at him, and he'll look at me. I give him that look.
So I did have to wait till Joique and DMac got back in the house. We do have to discuss the picks from the weekend, the Get Right special. Now, we fell short there. We had Hawaii minus the 17.5, whatever it was. Hawaii won by 14. But I did, because I knew it was happening, because as I always do, I stayed up and watched the entire game. I was up till like 3:15 in the morning because that's how I work. I never stop working.
Text message. I got to remind myself to put it on snooze. And then
But I have to, DMac, for the record, because I told everybody when Hawaii went up 24-3, I said, here's what I would do if it were me. I would take at least half of this off the table and take New Mexico State with the 26.5 live at about 2:15 in the morning. I gotta get a Twitch or something going as I watch these games. Yeah.
Why do you need Twitch?
You know, you can just put it on YouTube.
Yeah,
you can just live stream your
YouTube,
face
whatever.
on-
Yeah.
But I got to set something up where I can kind of bring the people along, because if you would have took half of it off the table with New Mexico State, you'd have finished even.
Do you live tweet during the game?
Not typically, because it's 2:15 in the morning.
Okay, that could be something you could do. You
And I'm
could
drinking
just
bourbon
tweet
usually.
Okay.
You know,
You
like
just tweet
Saturday
your
night's
thing.
my night, Fish. Like that's once the kids go to bed, I unwind and I get my 4 hours of time in for the week. Let's just say it like that. All right, but
that's daddy's time.
yeah, I advised everyone, and I put it out there for you, DMac, because I need it as a matter of public record. Because anyone could stand up here and say, oh, well, I would have taken the live line during the second quarter. But I get a good feel for when these games are going to flip. You can
I have
testify.
them all documented because you
Yeah.
send them all to me. It's just which thread you send them to me,
Right.
and so I'll look it up. But there are you nail. It's the same thing as buying that extra half, that
the half
2.5,
points, yeah.
that one that determines. So I think the big thing is more to it is a lot of the trends in the live betting where you can bet the quarters, the halves,
Right.
what's going on live. I mean, that just brings a whole new element to the game. And if you're watching it, that's what you want to do. You want to be somebody watching. Now, you consistently, because of the late game and no choice, New Mexico State and San Jose State. So I know you got your finger on the pulse
100%.
Both those programs, and that's all you want, Joique. Yeah. You want somebody, it doesn't matter what, but when they know, when they watch it, when they see, well, you don't have to. That's what betting's all about.
Yeah, absolutely. They want me to get on the IG Live. They want me to start an account called Get Right.
We need pick 'em. So Michigan State, Northwestern, 23.5. They covered. LSU at, did you think they was going to cover?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I had no faith in Northwestern to score.
All right, so LSU at 12, Ole Miss. How'd you do? They're at,
what did that game finish up at? I can't remember off the top of my head. I gotta pull that score.
Okay. Wisconsin at 25, Purdue. Plus 3.5.
I told you guys that one was coming. That I know Purdue's 25th in the nation and everything like that, but Wisconsin beat them down because Purdue's trash, and the people that voted Purdue in the top 25 should have their vote taken away. They should, because you're an idiot if you thought that. If you thought Purdue was the 25th best team in the country, you're no longer qualified to talk about sports for a living.
We talked about that Friday.
Look, everyone says I know it's coming. Who didn't see that one coming?
You did.
Yeah, but how many times we see it coming and then it doesn't? So that's just one that plays the way it is.
That's the whole point. All right, so you have 10 Oregon at UCLA, -1.
Oregon ended up winning that one. I went with UCLA because I was going against the grain. Ole Miss did cover against LSU, by the way, which I did have that one. I think DMac did too.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I had Oregon.
So you have 22 San Diego State at Air Force.
I got that one wrong because I thought that was. I thought San Diego State going on the road, their inability to score would cost them because I thought Air Force would really be able to run the football on them effectively, and they didn't, and San Diego State got a lead, and they held on to it. So I was wrong with that one.
All right, and then last one that we had for college was USC at 13, Notre Dame, -7.
Yeah, and that one I was big on USC with the points. And then Notre Dame got that late score that really messed everything up. What really messed it up was USC. Explain the science to this to me, too. USC's down 24-10, and I've always been curious about this. And you see teams doing this. They're down 24-10. They're down 14 points. There's 4-ish minutes left in the fourth quarter. They get these touchdowns, and they go for 2. Why? Like,
what was the score?
24-10. You always see this in 14-point games. I don't understand. I know it's like this new... It's this newfangled thing where if you're the road team, you go for 2. I never understood that scenario because if you want to go for 2, why don't you just do it when you score to go win the game? You know, like why? Because here's the thing, and this is what happened to USC. You're down 24-10. You get a touchdown. It's 24-16. You go for 2 and you don't get it. Now you got to score twice in essence because you got to get the touchdown and then get a 2-point conversion to just be tied. I don't understand the thought process. But everyone's doing it.
Everyone is doing it. But I don't understand that either. I think you do it after you get that second touchdown, right? After you get that second one.
Yeah.
And if you want to go for the win, you go for the win.
Yeah, and I've always been big on that because...
But that's big. I mean, but when you don't get it, that falls back on the coach, hands down. I don't know the science behind that. Now, if it was something like, they were up by 15-16, then, yeah, that 2-point conversion makes sense then. All right, and even if you're up 15, I would say wait till you get that second touch.
Yeah.
But
on our YouTube chat thread, Vince Patterson says, Neal, you do a lot of chattering, but I know that's your job, but at least tell the truth. They never draft well, and that's a fact. Vince, I said this yesterday, as a matter of fact.
Who never draft well?
He says the Lions never draft well. But, Vince, I told you this one. I've never talked into this microphone and lied to you guys. Never once. And I never will. Like, everything that I say, I'm not up here for... to put on a show for you guys or anything like that. Like, this is how I live. Everything I say here, this is what I believe. And my whole thing with the Lions, Vince, is the whole reason Brad Holmes is here. The entire reason is for one sound. That's why Brad Holmes is here. Period. End of story.
You said Lions never draft well. Did they draft well this year?
Well, let's see. Do we like Penei Sewell?
Yep.
Do we like Aleem McNeil?
Yep.
Do we like Joique? He was hurt early. He's come on a little bit as of late.
I don't dislike the pick.
Yeah.
I like St. Brown.
Yeah, I mean, St. Brown, there was no production Sunday. I could see how the jury could be out on him. I do.
No,
but the first three names I gave you, Joique, look like they could be Sewell, certainly. McNeil's been a starter the whole year, and that's my thing.
Now, this is the thing. He might not have done anything this game, but he's not that number one receiver. He's not a number one receiver.
No, he's a fourth-round pick.
He's a
that makes
fourth-round pick.
$800,000. That's what he is.
That's what he is. All right, and he's giving us what we need right now. Period. Yeah. What more you want from him?
Right.
What more you want from him?
If he's your third guy or your slot guy at $800,000 a year, I'll ride with that 100%.
So do you like the pick?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
okay.
If he's a contributor,
right? But he's getting better. He's going to get better.
Okay.
He has the mentality to get better.
I'll defer to you.
Yeah, I like him. I like his mentality. I like how he play. He's a tough guy. He's a tough cookie. I like it.
No, but I'll defer to you on that. But you DMac, I know you. Me and you we're linked on this. You see where I'm going with that. The philosophy has changed with the Lions. The value of draft capital, the contract situation.
Well, that's because the person changed. You got a guy in there who has pedigree, has shown in the past, but it's still got a time to step up in Brad Holmes. It's all, you look at the general managers or the guys making the decisions in every of the pro teams or the college teams or whatever, do you believe in that guy? Right now we believe in Brad Holmes with one draft, what he's got, but he's got work to do.
No, and he's got to keep doing it the way Steve
Eiserman. If he wants to have a legacy in this town.
No, and that's what it is. Everything's about a legacy. Your insurance should be about a legacy.
But before we do that, I got to finish the calls. We got one more minute. We didn't go over the NFL point spread.
We're late 3. We can get back to it.
Yeah.
Let us do that.
Yeah. We got time.
Oh, we got time?
Yeah, absolutely. I got a lot of time to talk to you about Legacy Partners Insurance, because when you watch the games, you're bombarded by insurance ads. They all promise to save you money, but if you really want to save money, Legacy Partners Insurance is the key, and here's why, folks. This is very, very simple. They take your insurance needs to market. What does that mean? 7 to 10 different carriers. They're going to shop what you want around, and they're going to report back to you with the best deal. Now, here's what's interesting about it, too. You say, Neal, my insurance, we're good with it. Everything's cool. That's great. I'm happy for you. But why not take a look and see if you can shave a little off the top of that as well? See if there's something better for you. You're not under any obligation. Here's what you got to do. Call Legacy Partners Insurance, 586-209-4106. Tell them Woodward Sports sent you. Get yourself a quote. That's it. That's all you got to do. And here's what they'll do. Just getting a quote, they'll put you in a drawing for a $50 gift card. So, that, again, why not look and see what the market says? I know what you think. How much time, really, a week do you spend researching insurance prices? And what connections do you have to 7 to 10 different carriers? None. So why don't you go to somebody that knows? Stop pretending like you know everything. You don't. Save yourself some money. Go to LegacyPartnersInsurance.com or you can give them a call, 586-209-4106. LegacyPartnersINS.com, Legacy Partners Insurance.
Tony is a third-generation logger that has a simple, practical approach to life and work. That's why his Coast DX342 knife is perfect for him. The stainless steel blade is rust-resistant and made for all-weather use. And the double roll-lock safety ensures that it will never inadvertently close when he doesn't want it to. That's why Coast is trusted tough.
Coming on the stretch here, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Rule. That guy is Joique Bell. That guy is DMac, Darren McCarty. Fish is on the official draft, NFL draft drop soundboard. Right, Fish? Yeah, there it is. Sawyer is in the production booth as well. Solid Sawyer today. You know, we're gaining on. He's got his hunting gear on. He's ready to go. I get it. 100% I get it. Joique, you said we had one other thing to clean up? I did want to talk Red Wings. We will in a second.
So we will. So we got to clean this up real quick. So just the money line or Lions at Rams at minus 15.
Yeah, I was Team Lions all day long on that one. That was a zig when everybody else zags, D-Mac. Yeah, I saw that one coming.
You called it. Way to go.
All right, Chiefs at Titans.
That one I was wrong on because it's official. The Patrick Mahomes revenge tour has gone the way of the 10-7 limo.
You did.
I was wrong
You missed
on
that one hard.
Badly. Missed it badly.
You missed that hard,
I
just
did.
like the wide open Hawkinson out of the backfield, too.
I did. Missed that one badly.
There we go. Bengals at Ravens, -6.5.
Here's the question right there. Wow. That performance by Cincinnati, and I think whether they're legit. They play hard, and what they did to Lamar Jackson, what they did in that game was a statement for them. And I think that do not overlook Cincinnati, because they are the one that has made the biggest, to me, improvement, but as a legit team.
Here's what you need to know about Cincinnati. I talked about this with Terry Foster yesterday, Joique, and this is going to blow your mind. They have Joe Burrow and they have Jamar Chase for the next 3 years at $17 million total for both those dudes.
That's like
with all their draft picks.
That's like 6 years for $17 million.
With all their draft picks, with $60 million in cap space in 2023.
Gives us hope. Gives us hope, Neal. Gives us hope, Neal.
Pull up on him.
Pull up. Hey, what do you do? That's how you draft. That's how you build. That's how you build a team through a draft.
And they looked in that camera on draft day and said, you know what? Well, they heard that sound, but then you heard the Cincinnati Bengals select Jamar Chase, and people were like, what are they doing? Remember that, Joique?
No. Everybody was saying, because everyone thought Penei Sewell was going to Cincinnati because of all the beating that Joe Burrow took the year previously. But, you know, y'all, I'm going to say it's their loss, because Jamar Chase has been everything they wanted and then some. And Penei Sewell has been everything we needed here so far. So, watching the football team, Packers -7.5.
That one, I mean, it's Packers at home, right? That was a pretty simple call, you know.
Okay.
And Aaron Rodgers looks to be okay. Everyone, the Lions had the chance to drive the stake into the Packers franchise heart, and we didn't do it. And now look what happened.
No, which, by the way, interesting game going into Thursday. Devontae Adams on the COVID list right now, so they might miss him. And quick shout out before let you know, and because this was a golfing buddy and a good friend of mine, but former Detroit defensive player Mike Lucci passed away this morning at 81, and big golfer, played a ton of golf tournaments with him, and
always saw him out there.
Great man.
It was fun to talk to.
Old stories, you know. It was always Mike Lucci, and then it was John Pinelli, who was a Notre Dame guy. He belonged to Birmingham, and we used to talk to him about old stories back then, you know, like when men were men. So shout out to Luch's family and everybody who knew him and friends and stuff.
When men were men. When there wasn't little girls anymore. When they were men. All right, here we go. We have Eagles at Raiders.
Yeah, I mean,
-3.
Yeah, that one was easy. You know, the Eagles just. I'm still a big Jalen Hurts guy. I'm not a big Eagles franchise guy. I'll say it like that. They're ready. They're ready to revolt.
You don't like what Howie's doing over there?
No, their defense. I heard their defense is like revolting, and the people aren't happy with the play calling and the coach's attitude. There's a lot of danger signs coming from Philadelphia. They could implode.
All right, Colts and that's probably why they think we can have an opportunity.
I know, and that's what makes me nervous because DMac, we have to look adversity in the eye, and we have to find a way to lose this weekend. We have to.
I don't think we're gonna though.
I know. I'm worried
with everything else, and
God, I'm worried.
9 drinks brings up Joique. I wanted to ask you, you guys both. You saw Penei Sewell, you know, and Aaron Donald getting each other's face and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
You like that?
I love it.
I loved it too. He didn't back down at all.
I love it.
That was on your IG
and like even when. Aaron,
squad deep.
People don't have to understand how big Aaron Donald is. He literally pushed Sewell, and Sewell didn't budge.
No,
not even a little bit.
And Donald looked small to Sewell.
Yeah, and then Aaron Donald grabbed Penei Sewell's face mask, right? Grabbed his face mask, and then Sewell grabbed his. Look, get off of me! Look, I love it. And then hold on, man. But you can't see from this angle. But Penei Sewell grabs his face mask too, and before they bag off, he pushed his face. That's the type of energy I like. And look at 72. And I look at 72 standing right there. Yeah, okay, all right, it's going far enough now. It's going far.
Is that veteran by time?
Yeah. He's looking like, I'm going to let y'all
He's letting him go. He's letting him go.
That's one. Okay, we cool now. So he grabbed his face mask.
That's a great bet. Right there, that tells me that things that I want to see.
Do you see right there how he grabbed his face mask right there?
Yeah.
Aaron Donald grabs it. But I wish we had the clip where Penei Sewell grabbed his face mask and then shoved his face back. And this right here is the reason why his jersey is sold out online in the store. This is why.
It's attitude.
It's this attitude, not bagging down, being that new dog. You're not the only sheriff in town anymore. I'm here.
That's what I talked about with Terry Foster yesterday.
I'm here.
Like, bro, I respect you. You've done a lot of things.
I respect you.
I'm here too.
You're going to have to see me.
Guys, you know what? That is absolutely perfect.
That's
because Penei Sewell.
Where's that? Do we got that?
Penei Sewell and Guardian Alarm, they both get it. You know, good defense on and off the field. Helps you feel secure. Aaron Donald ain't getting in your home when Penei Sewell is your Guardian Alarm. Guardian Alarm is state-of-the-art technology that helps you feel safe. All with 24/7 local monitoring. Guardian Alarm also has convenient features that let you check in on your home, control your lights, and temperatures, detect smoke, carbon dioxide, right from this little thing right here. It will even let you lock and unlock the doors, right? So, call 800.
Stay out.
That is 800.
Stay out.
That's 800. Loud for the Backfish.
Stay out. Get away from my house.
Get away from Fish's house. Anywhere else, if you don't have Penei Sewell watching it, get Guardian Alarm. They've been trusted for over 90 years at keeping families safe. Go to Guardian Alarm. Get them today. Stay out. Tell them Big D Energy sent you. Woodward Sports Network. We'll wrap this up with some Red Wing talk coming back.
You'll be dying to get your hands on Papa Romano's gruesome twosome. This spectacular deal gets you 2 large one-topping pizzas for a limited time for $19.99. Order now at paparomanos.com.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device.
That's how they treat you.
Final segment of the show here. Big D Energy Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Rule. That guy is Joique Bell. That guy is Darren McCarty. But did want to get into the Red Wings discussion. Big win for them on Sunday night. DMac, Lucas Raymond with the hat trick. And, you know, it's funny because for everything and every vibe and every feel that we're getting from the Red Wings, kind of the exact opposite has happened with the Pistons. They're dealing with some injuries. Jeremy Grant couldn't play. They got cooked by Atlanta. This is what I think we envisioned, what we're seeing with the Detroit Red Wings. And damn it, DMac, they score goals.
Dude, what was the crutch last year, right? We can all say Jonathan Bernier, Thomas Greiss, you know, they score goals in front of Bernier. Greiss would play unbelievable, and they could get 1 goal, maybe 2 for him, not even. Now, with the power play, with the lineup, they have legitimate scorers. I mentioned it last week, the fact that speed is the new size, and they have it all throughout the ice, defense, offense. Now it's confidence, and you look at the way they're playing together, and obviously you don't expect a 19-year-old to get a hat trick or to be up there in goals, but it goes to show you the maturity that he's ready to play, that the decisions were made, that his IQ's there, and to me, this is more about putting the team together. So when you watch some of these highlights, and again with this power play and stuff like this through the seam, and these guys love it. You look at the Sellies and stuff like this. This is what I'm looking for. You know, they ain't mailing it in. They're excited. They know they got to battle consistency and stuff. And you know what? I'm not worried about the Lucas Raymond. I'm not even worried about your Zadina, and because they're finding a way to move it around and score goals. The concern that I have, and you see the way that right there everybody's excited, but right there Bertuzzi, oh yeah, he got that watch. Oh, wait, he got a hat trick. Oh, I got to get the puck.
You got to get the puck, yeah.
But the excitement. So here's the thing. What the more concerning thing over the weekend, because obviously the way they played in Montreal, and they got shelled in Montreal, and they come back in Chicago. But the question is the elephant in the room the Bertuzzi vaccination going to Canada, because in the new year and stuff, it doesn't matter right now because they're building stuff, but is this, because he's the glue in that you could see by the way that they play, the numbers that they put up offensively, not even his production, but what he means to that locker room. So, I mean, this is what we're going to expect. Enjoy it. Be excited. Don't worry about the points. Worry about watching these players. And you mentioned why Penei Sewell 73 is sold out. Well, stuff like that is why 23 Raymond said.
You know what's funny? How we talk about, right? We talk about how when I said Jared Goff the previous week against Cincinnati, against Cincy, when I said this is not the mentality of a Detroit quarterback. This is not our quarterback.
Yep.
Not the mentality. I was talking about the mentality. And they said, what you mean? He's losing the game. Well, I'm not talking about wins or losses. I'm talking about the mentality of which you played the game. Like, we never had a quarterback that will shy away from taking a hit to get a pass off. You don't see that here, right? At least not in my time here. Not in my time. And so you look at a guy like Penei Sewell and his jersey's sold out, and people say, oh, but they're losing. It's not about wins or losses. It's about the mentality of which you played the game. And as long as we keep that type of mentality out of our best players, that attitude is contagious.
Contagious down.
It's contagious.
Yes.
And it's going to pass. It's going to go around the locker room. And that's how you build culture. And that's how we're going to start winning games, because of that type of attitude, that type of grit,
togetherness.
You know, and
fighting for the next guy.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it is. But it starts right here. We have a young guy coming in, not backing down from a guy who's won Defensive Player of the Year, back-to-back years. Might win it again. You don't know. But you don't know. And so that's the type of attitude I love to have.
And you know what? The big thing is, if you talk to Aaron Donald as the veteran today, there's some sort of respect that he gained for Penei Sewell, because you could tell right there wasn't disrespect. It was young guy, old guy, but the young guy's going, listen, I respect you, boss, but I'm going to be in your face every time you don't like it and stuff, because the only way the veteran gets to the rookie like this, right, gives him time, is if he's bothering him, right.
I don't know what that little DB doing coming over there. Hey, just chill.
Hey, quick shout out to everybody tomorrow night at Motor City. The Red Wings are taking on the Washington Capitals tomorrow night. Myself and Joique will be down for the viewing party and stuff, 6 to 8. So I know you can call down there. It'll be an exciting game, and another test for them to go into Washington, who's a recent Stanley Cup winner.
I'm telling you right now, that's the first jersey I'm gonna buy.
Raymond?
Penei Sewell.
Oh, Penei Sewell. Nice. I like it.
Yeah, wait for we get restocked first.
And to this point,
go to the team. I got people.
Hey, Joique, to this point, right, about you said about Goff against Cincinnati not playing with the attitude of a Detroit Lions quarterback. Last game, he came back and answered that, because would you say that he played more involved or whatever like this? Like, it's being committed, right? So there's some sort of commitment there, and it even leads to me more of lack of arm strength and lack of talent, not lack of wanting to be there.
Right. Exactly.
So that'll be good. But the way, hey, like I said, this is exciting. I mean, turn them on, scoring goals, and they'll be able to move it around. It's just not one guy; it's a bunch of guys, but they're exciting.
And the Pistons fans out there is too. Kate Cunningham supposed to be back on Saturday night. We'll see as we get closer if that will be the case when they play Orlando. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of juice in the building too. It's just, Jeremy Grant didn't play last night against Atlanta. No Jeremy Grant, no Cade.
Well, you know the why. You know the why.
Yeah, you certainly do. So, yeah, man, big time show here today. Everybody brought that passion. Everybody brought that energy. And Michigan State week, man.
Oh yeah.
We'll be getting into it more. I have 100 different angles that we can look at that. And everybody talks about the Michigan and the what if. What if Michigan loses? What's going to happen to Harbaugh? There's some chips on the table for Michigan State too, in all this. And there's a lot of things out there for Mel Tucker. We'll get into all that kind of stuff tomorrow as well. Recap some of that World Series, because, hey, guys, the World Series starts tonight.
It starts tonight.
I'll be tuned in.
Yeah.
I'll be tuned in. I'm excited, and I hope that Atlanta, I'm pulling for Atlanta to win.
Astros are going to drag them.
You think they're going to drag?
Yeah. I think so. 5 games, yeah.
No, they really think it's going to go the whole 7.
They ain't going 7.
It's not going 7?
Astros are going to win, man.
No,
but you know what though? There is a ton on the line for the Astros.
Oh yeah, because they do it legitimately.
Can they do it, quote unquote, legitimately? And I'm sure they will. And then what are we going to say? You know?
No, they're going to get beat.
It's funny, too.
They're going to get beat, and then they're going to go, they're no good without the garbage cans.
Yeah. No, no, but it's funny how we talk about that, where everyone says, I root against the Astros, they cheated and stuff like that, and then they update their phones to see if the Tigers have signed Carlos Correa, in free agency.
I want Correa. I'll take I'll take them all. I don't care. Let's win.
That's just funny. But yeah, we'll be back at it again tomorrow. Appreciate all you guys chiming in and interacting. You guys making everything go, man. We really do appreciate it.
Gang, gang.
Deuces.
Well, see you later.